Ooh, it got cold here. I was in shorts and t-shirt yesterday, and now I'm in my fall clothes. So anyways, today, come Saturday, what we're going to talk about today is forms practice. Okay, I was talking with my friend yesterday, trying to figure out what video to do today, and I figured I'd cover forms practice. Forms, kata, patterns, whatever you want to do, what you want to call it. It's very important training, but you need to understand the importance of it and the purpose of it. Okay, so a little bit of history. Throughout most of history, most people were illiterate. I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. Okay, most people were illiterate. Okay, and so forms were a way to pass down a system through the generations with movement. All right, so people couldn't read and write. Okay, so you had to do it through movement. That's the way it was done. All right, like a glossary of the techniques and principles. It was contained in the forms, and all the secrets were there. And not only that, but if you didn't know the form and truly understand it, if you were outside looking at it, you might not be able to really understand what the movements are all about. Okay, you need to actually train in it. So you could train, you could have all these different groups of people training outside in public. You have one school here, one school here, one school there, and no one really knows what the other is doing because they don't understand all the details of the form. Okay, so that's what it is. So you know, not knowing that, you're just learning a glorified dance pattern. Okay, but if you don't know what's behind it, it's kind of useless. All right, and that's why you need to learn with actually understand what the purpose of the moves are. Okay, so knowing that, just running through the form over and over again, it has its place, but much better training is to break down the individual movements. Okay, so I actually learned this from Sifu Sunny Tang when I was training at the school there. When I was first learning the Chum Q form, there's a section when you turn and kick. So it's like a little shift, I shift, kick, and then step, right? Well, I was having a bit of trouble with the kick. I don't know, it was kind of sloppy, whatever. So he wanted to see me bring it up the knee and push it out. Okay, in a real situation, it might be a bit more direct than that. But for you to understand the right energetics, just like I said before, train big, fight small, you need to know that. All right. So he wanted to see that. So what do you have? So you know, the actual form is this: like 1, and then you go 1, 2, 3, and then you go into a punch, back, and then you go on the other side. That's the movement. But you know, he wanted to work on just a kick, so he did what I now call form breakdowns. So he'd take one section of it and just isolate that. So I'm here, I go like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. See, like that. Just over and over again. Then that section here, right? 1, 2, 3, right? Maybe I'll do that 20 times. Okay, so that's what I call form breakdown. Okay, so rather than looking at the form as one big confusing mess of things and spending so much time trying to memorize it, I mean, you need to do that, of course. It's much better practice to understand each movement. So when you're doing your forms practice, don't just do it over and over again. Okay, and then you'll do each section one time. Okay, break it down and do each section 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. Okay, and break it down. Okay, that's one example. Okay, in the Bagua system, we also have forms. The forms are not they're not like other forms. Okay, you just walk around in a like they do have them, but they're a lot shorter and a lot simpler. Okay, and they're more like almost like boxing combos, really, when you think about it. Okay, so what you do now, here's a Bagua form, for example. Okay, I'll show you one. It's called the interlocking palm. This is from the Dragon system. Okay, Dragon Bagua interlocking palm. Okay, so I'm going to start here. Okay, in my rooted stance here. I'm going to drop my legs. Okay, I'm going to raise up my hands and I start walking around in a circle. Walking around in a circle. Cross my arm. But you see, I never stop moving. I'm moving the whole time. Walk in a circle, when I get the base of the circle here, I do a push. I do a push. Then I do a push, 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 and then back into the other way. Then I'll do that, and then I'll go the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then yeah. Okay, so there's a bago. Let's keep. So the thing is that the way that's traditionally trained, the breakdowns are right in the lifeblood of the system. Okay, so before you do the forms, okay, you don't learn a form right away. You do drills up and down, up and down, up and down until you're good at it, and then the Sifu will show you the forms. All right. So the first one was here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, up and down. Okay, 20 times, 30 times, whatever. Okay. Sometimes I go to the soccer field. I do it there. All right. I could also do it with a hooking step. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So when you do that movement, yeah, I can strike someone in the throat. I could do that. All right. I could hook the leg and get them down on the ground. I could do that too. All right. I can do a joint lock, an arm breaking movement. I can do that too. All right. So all those personalities, all those techniques are in there, dumbass. Okay, all those personalities, all those all those techniques are within that. So when you actually practice the form, you're practicing all those things. If that makes sense. So I'm going around here. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing here. I get the base of the triangle of the circle. 1. In that instant, I thought about all those things. Okay. Here, same thing, all right? Okay, and just like when I was doing this earlier here, right? Here, then when I come here, I will grab because I'm picturing I'm grabbing someone's arm, boom, boom, right? Like that. There's also a section here where the arm is here. My arm here, I punch, chop, and back to center. See? So my hand goes a little off center here actually. Punch. This hand pulls back as this one goes forward. 1, 2, 3. All right. So in order to train that, how do you emphasize this pushing and pulling aspect of things? Okay. Well, you do the same thing side to side over and over again. So watch this now. I go 1, right? I do a human style. I grab. I pull. 1, 2. Boom. Boom. See? Boom. Then you know to pull as that other hand goes forward. See? I do this 20, 30 times. Boom. 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 See? Boom. Also, you notice one other thing. I'm not doing this. Big wide movement. I'm staying nice and tight. So you do the form in that way by breaking down each movement and repping out in them, right? And really getting it into your bones and DNA, okay? Then when you actually do the form, it's gonna be mint, all right? And you're gonna understand, they're not just gonna be meaningless movements. You're gonna understand what every single movement is, okay? If you're doing a form and you don't understand the purpose of it, you need to ask your Sifu or talk to someone about it. You need to understand fully what every single movement is, and then you need to break it down and rep it out, okay? That's the only way, you're gonna get good. Like I said before, there's no secrets in martial arts, okay? It's just, hard work, consistency over time. That's all there is to it, okay? There's no secret techniques. There's no magical chi powers, okay? It's just hard work, consistency over a long period of time. The word kung fu is popularized now, but really it means hard work over time. That's what it really means. It's kind of a slang term actually, but it's come to be accepted around the world as Chinese martial arts. But really, it means hard work over time. So I mean, someone who's an engineer can display good kung fu at being an engineer. Okay, for example, someone who's a musician can display good kung fu at being a musician. Okay, so that's what it means. And because kung fu guys train so hard, that's kind of where the term came from. Okay, but that's basically it. Okay, hard work over time, consistency, and that's how you get good, and that's how you practice forms to really get the most out of it. Okay, just doing them mindlessly is like a 7/4, like a glorified dance pattern. You want to actually mean something, you do it this way. All right, so hope this helps. Any questions? As always, let me know. See you soon.